his wife, they gave birth to a daughter and a son. And the son, because he comes in the family of Kusha, got the name Kaushika. Right? Kunti's son, wherever in Sanskrit, this is just a little Sanskrit lesson. If a name is has an U attached to it, Kunti, son becomes Kaunteya. One who comes from Kunti is Kaunteya. So one who comes from Kusha, or in the line of Kusha, becomes Kaushika. So the son was called Kaushika, whose other name is Vishwamitra. And the daughter's name was Kaushiki. That's easy. Simple to name. Boys and girls is easy. Nowadays you have to give a long list. Kaushika and Kaushiki. There's a very good singer by the name Kaushiki Chakravarti. Anyway, those who like classical music. So this Kaushiki then took the form of a river. So previously, after Siddhashram, Vishwamitra Muni said, I am done. I will go to Mithila, and after Mithila, I will go to the northern bank of the Ganges, to the Himalayas, where Kaushiki is. Okay. So then Vishwamitra is saying, my elder sister assumed the form of a glorious, pleasant, pious river starting from the Himalayas in order to bless people with benedictions for this life and the next. So this Kaushiki, actually her name is also Satyavati. Okay. Vishwamitra is telling the story. My elder sister, by her pious vows, famous by the name Satyavati, was married to the sage Richika. Anywhere you heard the name Richika? Really? Richika Muni, who had a son named, what was Parashuram's father's name? Say it. Jamadagni. So Richika gave birth to Jamadagni, who gave birth to Parashuram. So Richika and Satyavati. So he says, following her husband, with her body, she went to Swargaloka. Richika used to live there. And being greatly generous, she also assumed the form of a great river, Kaushiki. Okay? And she flows down from the Himalayas to help human beings. So then, in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada, in chapter 6, verse 40, in his purport says, humanity can be divided into two sections, namely regulated and unregulated. Those who are engaged simply in bestial sense gratification without knowledge of their next life or spiritual salvation belong to the non-regulated section. Thank you. And those who follow the principles of prescribed duties in scriptures are classified as regulated persons. The non-regulated section, both civilized and non-civilized, educated and non-educated, strong and weak, are full of animal propensities. Their activities are never auspicious, because while enjoying the animal propensities of, what are the animal propensities of? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, they perpetually remain in material existence, which is always miserable. On the other hand, those who are regulated by scriptural injunctions and who thus rise gradually to Krishna consciousness certainly progress in life. So to help such persons, these great rivers, they flow. Ganga, Yamuna. Last time we were discussing whether Yamuna is greater or Ganga is greater. I don't know where Kaushiki falls in that list then. But they're all great rivers. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari. Without remembering these rivers, you cannot approach the Supreme Lord. Every day when you're supposed to take bath, you're supposed to, as soon as you turn on the shower, you're supposed to say, Instead of that, you are supposed to say Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri. You cannot do Achman without calling the rivers. You cannot do anything without calling the rivers and remembering them and being sanctified by them. Right? Even when we are drinking water, Krishna says, I am the taste in water. Prabhupada says, Krishna consciousness is so easy that one should just remember, oh Krishna, this is the taste of Krishna. I am the taste of water. Like that. So, 11 o'clock already. Kushanaga's wife's, the children's story took longer. I thought it will go faster. But anyway, any questions, comments, thoughts? There's something here. Go ahead.
About Kushanaba, you just counted Kushanaba. So after marriage to Brahmadatta, so that Vayudeva was quite, remained quiet, or he didn't do anything?
No, Vayudeva doesn't do anything. He did what he did and went away. No more interference from Vayudeva. See, the difference is Vayudeva and all these personalities, they don't hold grudge. Okay, they don't hold grudge. The only place where grudge was very, very strongly working is in the case of Indra with the Vrajvasis. He became very upset. Right? But he was also taken care of by Krishna. But Krishna also doesn't hold any grudge against Indra. Indrari Vyakulam Roka. Every time there is a problem, Krishna only comes in different ways to help Indra. But so they don't hold grudge. Heart is very clean. No grudge. After that, Narad Muni must have met Manikovera and Nalagriva many times. No grudge. And Manikovera, oh, there's Narad Muni. You remember what he did? In fact, they were so grateful. Oh, because of you, we saw Krishna. So no grudge.
Next one is, in the beginning of the class, you said that the demigods, they don't go through the,
demigods don't go through death and disease like that.
So what's the role of Ashwini Kumar?
Ashwini Kumaras show up when different things happen in battle. They're the doctors. So whenever they get beat up in battles, Ashwini Kumaras, they will give special medicine that their bodies will change very quickly. And Ashwini Kumaras, because they're demigods' purpose is to benefit people on earth. Right? That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. I've created a system where humans will benefit the demigods, and the demigods will benefit the human beings. It's a reciprocal cycle that everyone will be happy with. So Ashwini Kumaras are to help the human beings on earth with their medicines and their other things. So in Bhagavatam, when they're supposed to learn a particular mantra, and they say, oh, Chavana Muni's case. Was it Chavana Muni? Sukanya and Chavana Muni. When Chavana Muni had to teach the Ashwini Kumaras a particular mantra, in return they told him, we will change your body to young prince. So they take him into a lake, they give him a bath. When he comes out, Sukanya is like, wow, he's changed so much. So they're there for the special, they're paramedics.
Thank you.
All right.
Like you mentioning that getting the Putra Kameshri.
Yeah.
So
why are you talking about Putra Kameshri?
I know you asked this question. I'm curious about that when they are done Putra Kameshri India for the I don't know.
You're stuck with Putra Kameshri or not?
The Singh has to come and know special qualified person. He has to only do this Putra Kameshri.
Correct.
Maharaj. So
Dasharatha. Yeah.
So in this case, Putra Kameshri, he has like nobody didn't mention that.
It doesn't say. Putra Kameshri can be done by anybody. Whether it will be successful or not is a different issue. Right? But King Kusha and Kushanaba had great priests with them. The Ishti Yaga is a supplementary yaga to something big. So Dasharatha Maharaj did Ashwamedha, and in that Ashwamedha, little on the side is Kameshti Yoga. So a Putra Kameshti Yoga was done. So like that, these kings are performing yajnas, and on the side, he wanted a son.
It's not necessary. Only that qualified person only should.
The Brahmanas are all qualified. Only Brahmanas should be lighting fire, not with camphor. With lighter and camphor, and put more camphor every time we see the fire becoming small. No, very qualified Brahmins.
Thank you.
Hare
Right,
Krishna,
anything?
Prabhu.
Oh,
Hare
hold on.
Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Prabhu. This is Paramatma Das. You were.
You're such an amazing. Paramatma never asked for forgiveness.
But Das is asking, bro. So, Prabhu, the question is that shloka, Gangechi Yamne Cheva. I hear two versions. One people say Gangechi Yamne Cheva, Krishna Godavari Saraswati, and some other says only Godavari. They don't add Krishna river. So, what is the right version and how to understand? That's confusing me.
Please forgive me. I don't know. I
Sorry,
only know
Prabhu.
one mantra. Gange cha yamune cheva Godavari Saraswati.
Yes, Prabhu.
Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin
Yes.
Sandhu. It
Okay,
doesn't mean that the Krishna river is not sacred. It doesn't mean that the river Tungabhadra is not sacred. All these are sacred rivers.
sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
You had a question?
3 Prabhu.
3. Ask one.
Hare Krishna.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
I have a question. Why is there any connection between is there a reason why there was Vishwamitra bringing Ram? Because it's like this, just this big backstory, or is there any thing like that?
What is the reason Vishwamitra is bringing what? To Ramachandra where? To Mithila?
No, my question is, why is it him who's doing it? Is there any backstory or anything for it? Or?
Backstory for what, Govardhan?
Is that why does Vishwamitra have this privilege of bringing Ramachandra, maybe when they're from Ayodhya to Mithila? He's wondering if there
Why
is
Vishwamitra?
and
No, I don't know why. All I know is Shatananda, who's the priest of Janaka Maharaj, requests Vishwamitra to please bring Ramachandra to Mithila for marrying Sita Devi. This is all this marriage, people interested in bringing these two together. This is all their planning. But why Vishwamitra, I don't know. In one sense, there is a remote connection. The remote connection is Vishwamitra was responsible for putting Ramachandra's ancestor into a lot of distress, Harishchandra. And in that time, he also took care of Shunashnepa, who was also in that family. So Vishwamitra, in one sense, was responsible for Harishchandra and his family to be separated. As a recourse to it, he wants to bring them together, bring other people together. It's like a counter measure. So Vishwamitra becomes responsible for Ramachandra meeting Sita Devi. He becomes responsible for Ahalya going back to Gautama Rishi, etc. Understand? So in that sense, Vishwamitra has some backstory connection.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hold on, there's a question here. One question.
Sure.
Pick the best.
Yeah. Regarding Shama, thank you for elaborating on it. This concept of Shama, we often see in the Christianity terms. They said one should forgive. That forgiveness is coming from on the subtle body level, more on the soul level. It's very challenged to discriminate. Like in an elevated Vaishnava has more of compassion and forgiveness on the soul level. but someone who is not in that level, it's more mixed on the bodily platform as well.
I'm listening. So what's the point?
So for us, at least for myself, forgiveness on the high level is ideal. I'm not there yet, so, but at this moment, the forgiveness is more on the body level only.
What does forgiveness on bodily level mean?
Not benefit.
So the question here is, great souls forgive at the bodily level and also at the subtle body or the soul level. I am not there, so I can only forgive at the bodily level. So my question is, what does forgiveness at the bodily level mean?
Let's say I get offended with the dishonor or disrespect and so forth. That's on the soul level, even not on the soul level.
Right.
So forgiving on that aspect is on the soul level only.
So what does forgiveness on the soul level mean?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Right. So forgiveness on the soul level, I don't know what that means. I mean, the only thing is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ramachandra, forgiveness is that we have turned away from him. And for that, he doesn't punish us. He is more eager that we turn back to him. So at that soul level and all that may not apply necessarily to us. What we are doing is we are practicing and moving through life in such a way that we have a goal. We want to reach Krishna, Sri Ramachandra's lotus feet. In between, there are many distractions. Someone said something to me. Someone did not say something, did not offer respect. Someone said this, someone did that. Will I be worried by those things? Should I be? Kshamata means have a big picture in perspective and move on. And don't hold on to grudges. So when the big picture is not clear, then the small things become very big. When big thing is clear, the big picture is clear, the goal is clear, then even the big challenges become very small. Now this is theoretical for me. I'm not there either, but that's the lesson I learned from, many times, but recently Vyaspuja was also that point. So the calibration for us every time is, hey, am I aware of the big picture, where I'm going in life? If that is clear, then these things in that perspective become smaller. Right? The Earth is a very big planet. You put it next to Jupiter or the Sun, suddenly it loses its significance. So some problem may look very big. Put it in the grand context of where we are trying to go. It looks small. It supposedly looks smaller.
So in that context, forgiving or just ignoring and moving on?
They're not the same.
Together?
Ignoring and moving on. Forgiving means you have well wishes in the heart. You may not necessarily engage with the person, but at least in the heart there is nothing. It should not create all this dialogue inside. If the person is moving in the room or moving somewhere in some other room, or just the mention of the name only brings all sorts of distortions in the heart. Right? See, great Vaishnavas are such that if you see them, touch them or serve them, then there is great benefit. But a great Vaishnava, even by remembering them, one is purified. But for someone who has a grudge in the heart, you may not see the person that we don't like. Even thinking about them can bring all the same. Yeah, why? So Kshamata is, these 100 girls never held any grudge against Vayu. Although they had the power to bring him down like anything. They just quietly went to their father and said, but this example is why you're spending an hour to talk about Kushanava's daughters. Not relevant. But the lesson that he's giving them of Kshama, And we will see, not that Lord Ramachandra learned from this. Lord Ramachandra exercising Kshama is so intense. Like last week we were talking, why in Sugriva's time? Well, one of the lessons he's learned from Vishwamitra is very, very tolerant and patient and forgiving. He had nothing. In fact, Sugriva is such that Lord Ramachandra shakes hands, hugs him, or gives him a big embrace and tells him, "You're my brother." For a person who, did not do what he's supposed to do. Of course, he turned around and, got his armies to search the whole universe. That's a different issue. But he could have said no. He offended Lakshmana, but he didn't. He took care of it and no grudges held. So part of Kshamata is don't hold grudges. Deal with the situation, move on. Move on. That's a lesson for us. Move on. Don't sit there, don't grudge, don't brood. Move on. Life has more to offer, so move on. Okay. Anything on the phone? Sorry. I know I cannot move on. It's 11:15. Should we move on? Any questions on the phone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Uddhav Das.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you were mentioning that Vayu has some role in Vayu plays some role in moving the planets in their orbits.
Yes.
What exactly is that, Prabhuji? I never heard of it. I used to think it's just the gravitation of the sun which puts them in their orbit, lets them move in their orbit.
No, Vayudeva, by Krishna's order, his service is to move all the planets in their orbits.
Okay.
His job, another is to move all the clouds once they are vaporized by Surya Dev. Where all our water that we get in India comes from the ocean near Africa. Right?
Right.
It's evaporated from there and monsoon clouds move northeast direction.
Yes.
How do clouds move?
Right.
How much water is contained in the clouds? Billions of gallons of water.
Right.
And how are the clouds so light? Because they are held in vapor form. Vapor form means Vayu is there. No?
Yes.
And that Vayu then moves those billions of gallons of water contained in the clouds and brings them northeast towards the Himalayas. Then there pours rain. Then the clouds turn, come back southwest direction, pour rain. So the airs that are moving, the tornadoes, what we call cyclones, they're all movements of Vayu.
Correct.
At different levels.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. So it plays a role in moving the planets in their orbits also.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
We are concerned with Vayu moving in our body so that, what we eat, so that there's not too much Vayu coming out. And then making sure that in our body, Vata is not, is in balance. Let's worry about those. But yes, that's sort of the bigger perspective of what it is.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Varsana.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, the Samadhana, Veda, Danda, it's 4 levels of diplomacy. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Maybe will you be touching on it at some when? Will you be touching on it when you talk about that section?
Let's see when it comes up. There are places where it will come up.
Okay.
And if I don't, then please remind me.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want one or two sentences on it. Generally, the word diplomacy, we have a very negative connotation to it. When we say someone is being diplomatic, we put a negative connotation to it. Actually, every country has diplomats. It doesn't mean they're bad people. It means they are experts at negotiating for the best interest of the country. So that's a person who's a diplomat. They're always thinking about the best interest of. So we are all diplomats of Prabhupada. We call ambassadors, right? We're all diplomats for Srila Prabhupada, in the sense that we always want to keep the best interest of Srila Prabhupada in our heart, the best interest of our how we represent Srila Prabhupada and his movement, how we represent our spiritual master, how we represent Kishore Kishori or our Devata, Ishta Deva. It's important. And for that, sometimes there is danda, sometimes there is bheda, there is discussion, there is, equal, you get some, those kinds, one should know. It's a quality of a leader to have these four things, or four qualities. Okay? So we'll come back and we'll talk more about it.
Yeah, I was just reminded, there is a Tyagaraja Kriti where he is glorifying Rama as one who knows all of how to use this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I remember that Kriti. When we come to the marriage of Sitaram, we'll talk about one of the things that Tyagaraja says of how Sita saw Ramachandra. So until then, we'll have to put it as a cliffhanger for all of us to continue. I won't tell you today. All right, last 1 minute. Any burning questions on the phone?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I want to understand forgiveness further in the sense when an instance happens when one is hurt and one is wanting to forgive, at the same time there is some information that we get about the other person, and when we are dealing with the same person the next time, although not acting from the point of being hurt, but then still considering that this is the character or the nature of this person, so being careful and taking note of that particular aspect which exists between the relationship is also important.
Excellently said. So
I just wanted to confirm if
yeah.
understanding is.
So suppose as we interact with people, we get to know people, and someone, let's say, let's take people out. Let's do the Panchatantra style. Okay. Let's say one of the entities we're dealing with is like a snake. Snake means without reason they may bite. Now, because they bite without reason, will you become angry at a snake? Oh, that's their nature. Having some idea of someone's nature sets expectations clearly. And then we can decide whether to work with them or not work with them. But that doesn't mean that every time you see a snake, in your prayers also, oh, please kill the snake, that snake I cannot tolerate. No. Snake is snake.
But then in one's own heart, one should be very clear if that one is not acting from that position of being hurt versus just considering that as an event and an information and then acting from there.
That is correct. So forgiveness, honestly speaking, forgiveness may benefit the other person, but first is to benefit ourselves. Right? What is one of the things I heard from Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj is anger or grudge is like holding hot coals in your hand, waiting for an opportunity to throw it at someone. So what does grudge do? While you're waiting for that opportunity, you're burning yourself, or I'm burning myself, right? So grudge is like that. They're hot coals that I'm holding. So forgiveness relieves us more than relieving the other person. We are relieved of the grudge. and they're relieved of the danger of our grudge. And here's a great thing that Sita Devi says, which of course she is my hero in the whole of Ramayana. When Hanuman meets Sita Devi, he says, Hanuman says, please give me permission. I will destroy the entire Lanka. I will wipe it out of the face of the earth. I will kill all the Rakshasas. I will kill everybody here. You just have to say the word. In fact, I will finish Ravana also right now. And Sita Devi says, who doesn't make a mistake in this world? Everyone makes some mistake or the other. So who doesn't make a mistake? So why punish? Let it be. Mistake. That is her compassion to even Ravana. So we may not have Sita Devi's Kshamata capacity, but at least that's the lesson. Who doesn't make a mistake? Somebody made some mistake, something in some situation, they made a mistake. In fact, they made a mistake again and again, perhaps. Ravana made the same mistake again and again. With the first woman was, her name starts with a V, Vedavati. Then with Nalakuvera's wife, Rambha. Then a whole bunch here, a whole bunch there. He had captured all these women and they were all in Lanka under his care. But Sita Devi goes to Lanka to relieve all of the residents of Lanka from Ravana's torture. But what is her disposition towards Ravana? Everybody makes a mistake. Why should we punish them? Everybody makes a mistake. But he has to be relieved by Ramachandra. So it's only Ramachandra has to come and relieve him. That way, he will be benefited by Ramachandra's killing. All right. So, late bloomers. On the question of Kshama.
If something happened for me or something, we can forgive them. But suppose if you're in the position of caregiver as a father, mother, and a husband, and a king or something happened to you, such case. So how do we forgive that person?
Very good question. So he said, when something happened to me, I can forgive. But if I'm a caregiver, like a father or a husband or king, or whatever, I'm responsible for someone else's care and something has been done to them, what should I do? So it depends. It depends on the person. It depends on the gravity of whatever has been done and depends upon what the outcome you're looking for. Now, Kushanaba did not go fight with Vayu. He found a remedy for it and moved on. In someone else's case, coming up in Ramayana, when Indra's son, the crow, pecks on Sita Devi, Ramachandra picks up a blade of grass and is ready to finish off the guy, but then forgives him because he falls at his feet. One should not give up one's duty of protection, but how that protection is given depends on a whole bunch. So in this case, King Kushanaba consulted with his ministers, with his brahmanas. So proper consultation on what is the best way to protect those who are under my care must be thought out. In some case, you defend this way, in some case you protect this way. You may punish that person or correct that person or escalate it for their correction. Somehow that whoever is under your care is protected. It's not one way. It all depends on the different things. Someone said something, someone did something, something is happening in front of you, something happened previously. It all depends. Okay. All right, we should end. I went way beyond. Thank you, and please forgive me. The reason I gave you the discussion on Kshamata is now for all of you to forgive me, if you can, for going far beyond our time. So sorry about that. Hare Krishna, and see you again soon. Haribol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.